Last night's my horror night.
Welcome to the Last Video Store. I'm your host, Bud Haddonfield, and this is the show where we recommend the good, the bad, the ugly of horror movies. Today's episode, I wanted to make a little list compilation, but let's back it up just a little bit. Tonight, I'm going to see the brand new Toxic Avenger. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, but I'm going to go into it and just check it out because Toxic Avenger is one of my favorite Troma movies. I love Troma since the early 90s when I first discovered it. It's a whole lot of fun. It was a company that was put together by Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz. They make these very gritty, nasty, offensive horror comedy movies. Very cheesy, very tongue-in-cheek, but they're absolutely a good time. There's two parts of Troma. One is movies that they acquired after they were made and put them out in distribution, and the other is movies that they made together. So I got 11 movies I just want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about none of the 10 that I did an episode on for the May of the Dead Troma zombie episodes. But for this one, like I said, 11 movies, no particular order, just great Troma movies. Some I've talked about on previous episodes, but I just want to put them in this list anyway. So we're going to kick things off with Chillers. Is a great anthology. Who doesn't love anthology movies? This one's a whole lot of fun. It's cheesy, it's nasty, it's fucking fun as hell, and it's Chillers. The next is Evil Clutch. This one I'm waiting for it to get a Blu-ray between this and Chillers, the last movie. This one's a whole lot of fun. It's kind of like a creature that turns into a beautiful woman, and it just we've seen this done many times before, but Troma does it best. So the next movie, Terror Vision, is putting a Blu-ray out, and I pre-ordered not too long ago, and it is Death by Dialogue. The actor who played Kincaid in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, he's in here. And it's kind of like a Tales from the Crypt episode. These people write a story, and they start dying off as they are written on the page. So this one's a whole lot of fun as well. These are all Blu-rays that are put out by either Troma or Vinegar Syndrome. Love Vinegar Syndrome. They do a lot of great movies. If Vinegar Syndrome watching, please do Death by Dialogue and Chillers. We need it. I'm sorry, Evil Clutch and Chillers. And Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town. That's all I'm going to think about right now. So, Schoolgirl Screamers. Girls School Screamers. I'm always confused. But this was a cool one I found on the video store in the early 90s in a Blockbuster. And it's absolutely cool. I don't know if the glare is fucking it up or whatnot, but look at this. Look, oh my God, it's so cool. This is a fun movie about some, I guess, co-eds or high school girls. They go to this haunted house to clean it up, and they find this Ouija board, and they unleash some kind of evil spirit, and it kind of turns into like a supernatural slasher movie. But I think it's amazing. Luther the Geek. It's about a little bald-headed fella. He's a psychopath, and he has these metal teeth like Richard Kiel in Jaws from Moonraker. And he's pretty much biting the heads off chickens. That's what geeks are. And he escapes. He goes on a rampage, fucking around with chickens and this woman and her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. And he's biting people's throats, but this is a fun movie. Okay, so I've already talked about it. I'm not going to say too much. Toxic Avenger, absolutely loved it, especially the first one. Like, all the sequels and whatnot are pretty good, but nothing beats the first movie. Nothing. And if you've ever watched The Clerks, the very original one, when Dante sticks his head out and he's like trying not to suck any dick on the way to the parking lot and the dude gets up, that is the guy who played the original Toxic Avenger. Oh, the next one is one I recently showed my wife. This was actually pretty fucking disgusting, but it's a whole lot of fun. And it's Terra Firma. It is a slasher movie that pretty much mashes all together the Troma-made movies. It's kind of like a big inside joke. Joe Lynch is in it. A lot of recognizable people, but Terra Firma. This one's pretty fucking nasty. So we have Frostbiter, Wrath of the Wendigo. This one's really cool. It's an interesting little tale. Some hunters unleash the spirit of this Wendigo, and he goes around killing other hunter movies. It's very similar or inspired by Evil Dead, so it's on the path of that. So, Frostbiter. One I talk about a lot is probably my second favorite Troma movie, and it is Death by Temptation. This one came from the early 90s. It was directed by James Bond III. Uh, keep going. So, in another country, this was this was marketed as Vampire in Brooklyn Part 2. I don't know why, but it's about this female succubus, a vampire. It really doesn't explain it, but she's an evil fucking bitch. And she picks up these dudes at bars and she takes them out and she either kills them, slaughters them, slashes them to death and whatnot, or she turns them into like kind of like some minion type deals and infects them, and it's some spooky shit. So this was one of Samuel Jackson's first movie. It was filmed in the mid-'80s, but it didn't get picked up by Troma until late 80s, early 90s, whatever the hell it was. But this one's really good. You got Kadeem Harrison, I think, from Vampire in Brooklyn and Different World. And you got my dude, Bill Nunn, who was in a lot of movies. He was in Bulletproof. He was one of the paper guys from the first 3 Spider-Man movies, the Raimis. Very recognizable. He passed away. Love that dude. He was a great actor. And James Bond the Third. Look him up. It's not bad. So these are some 2 other movies that I did. I did one a couple years ago. I did an isolated episode where I got to play the full movie, so I hope I don't get sued. And another one I did this past year for Summer Carnage. I'm going to go with the first, and it's going to be Blood Hook. And it is a slasher movie that takes place in a lake. Like I said, I did a previous episode, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Musky Madness, good movie. And the very last movie on my list is going to be Blades, and it's pretty much Jaws on a golf course, and it's about this. I'm dropping the F-bombs a lot, I guess. I've been watching a lot of Troma movies lately, so I've been saying fucking and whatnot. But Blades is a whole lot of fun. Like I said, it takes place on a country club, and they got this rogue lawnmower that's just going around just eating people and cutting them up and fucking massacring them and whatnot. So, all right. So that was some of my favorite Troma horror movies, not Troma zombie horror movies, because I did that a couple of months ago back in May the Dead, but these are my favorites non-zombie horror Troma movies. So if you hadn't seen any of them, check them all out. They're pretty readily available. You can find the Blu-rays, Amazon Prime. You can find them on Vinegar Syndrome, eBay. Some of the DVDs, you can find them in like the little Toxie triple header packs or whatnot. They came in like 7 back in the day. I'm losing my goddamn mind. I'm getting tired of talking, but please like and subscribe. I'll see you next episode, and I hope the Toxic Avenger remake is pretty good. So thank you. See you next time.
Michael Myers are the heroes of my past. Now the media is dying. Chucky and the zombies now all up in cemetery. So bring me back those. I wanna come back to those times when all movies were so scary.